Young voters tend to have many strong opinions about our government's choices. Not many act on these opinions. PBS reports that in the last presidential election, only half of the eligible voters ages 18 to 24 voted. In 2014, only 17% of the same group voted in midterm elections.
A lot of us have vocalized our opinions like, oh, I hate that Trump's doing this, or I hate that my senator said that or something. Or, you know, they have opinions, but instead of doing something about it, they keep complaining.
If young voters don't like what's happening in government, why don't more of them vote?
I think a lot of times, like when you're like 18, you still like don't really feel like a real adult. And like I feel like a lot of times we treat voting as like, that's for the real adults. Like I still have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. It's probably not really clicking in my brain that I can like vote for the president of the United States of America.
Between 18 and 24, most people nowadays, they're going to college. They have other things they're focusing on. They're focusing on starting their job, starting their life, starting everything that they have going for them that they're still working up to. So one of the last of their priorities is voting and worrying about who gets into the government.
According to the Pew Research Center, the 2014 midterm elections had the worst national turnout ever measured. Historically, midterm elections have had lower voting turnouts than presidential elections.
Kind of especially with like midterm elections, people don't really realize how much they're going to affect things. Like, most people vote for the president because that's like the big thing, but he's not the only one who makes decisions. So like, all these kind of people who are voting for now, they're gonna make a lot more of like day-to-day decisions for us. So it'll kind of affect us more subtly than we think it will.
One of the reasons young voters say they do not vote is because they have trouble figuring out who to vote for.
Saying like, oh, we have values, like, what are the values, like, what are your plans, and like, how is that gonna affect me?
It's all these like older people, like, how am I supposed to know what they're for?
In the age of technology, there is an easy solution.
Don't consider like, wait, I can just look it up and see, does this correspond with my views?
These teen voters have some simple advice for other young voters.
And I think this generation just needs to try and put a little bit more into it and just go for it.
Well, I think it's kind of like important that you should care about more than one issue.